Good morning, everybody. I am Dr. Oluwayemisi Adeleke from Redeemers University. I have a PhD in economics. I'll be presenting today on publishing in reputable journals, and I want to share my slides. So this is the presentation outline. As an academics, we have academic duties such as administrative, teaching, community service and research. Then we're going to talk about publication. Then we're going to talk about basic publication questions. And that will be all for today. So as an academia, we have several duties that we have to do. We have administrative. And of course, when we're talking about administrative, it could either be a level advisor, an exam officer, a dean, HOD, sub-dean. It could even be a PG coordinator. Those are administrative duties that we have as academia duties. Then, as a teacher, you could be a lecturer of undergraduate or postgraduate programs. You could even be teaching professional courses such as CFA, ACCA, ICANN, and what have you. Then when we talk about community service, we talk about volunteering service where you can either be a mentor, a peer mentor, being in several committees and what have you. And lastly, research. And when we're talking about research, it could be publications, it could be publishing in book chapters, it could be attracting grants and all of you. These are all the things that compete for our time as academics. And we find out that we have to do all of this for us to be successful in academics. So which interests us most? Is it administrative? Is it mentoring students? Is it being a staff advisor? Is it being a level advisor? Is it being an exam officer? Is it teaching, going to the classroom, teaching undergraduate students, because that's also a form of mentorship? Is it community service, being in several committees, or is it research? Which interests us the most? Which interests us the least? And of course, which can make us a millionaire? Which can take us around the globe? Of course, all of this actually competes for our attention. But what actually makes us visible is what? Is our research. It is what takes us around the globe. It is our research that makes us known in the global sphere. It is our research that makes us visible. Unfortunately or fortunately, we are competing with all of these other activities. And of course, it makes publishing in reputable journals, it makes it very difficult to achieve. So, we've all heard about the slogan, the evolution of academics, that is, it's either you publish or you perish, or it's either you publish or you vanish. So to publish, I know that several of us have published in local journals, international journals, but for you not to vanish, for you to have knowledge immortality, for you to be out there, for you to be relevant, you need to publish in high impact journals. And when I say publish in high impact journals, I'm not saying publishing once in 3 years, once in 2 years, once in a year, because of the rigor of publishing high impact journals. I'm talking about frequent publishing in high impact journals. So, in publishing in high impact journals, there are several rewards that we get. The reward that of collaboration. People would reach out to us. Journals will reach out to us. Good publishing outlets and even good publishers will reach out to us for collaboration. For example, I have an example of Dr. Osaboyen here. He has been reached out to because of his impacts in the global sphere, because of his publishing in reputable journals. He has been reached out to by several journals, Discover Sustainability, Early On, and what have you, to be part of the editorial board. And also, he has also been reached out to in order to collaborate on book chapters. And one of the examples here is energy efficiency in critical times. Also, another way in which you can get the reward of publication is when you've learned the process of publishing in reputable journals, then you'll be able to write and apply for grants, and you'll be sure that at least to a reasonable extent you have the basic knowledge in writing for the grants. And this is an example where we applied, myself and 3 other people applied for the Quadrilateral grant. This happened, one of the reasons why we got this is because we've been able to learn the rudiments of writing properly, quality manuscripts. And apart from that, we also had quality mentorship from the ASMN, African Scholarship Mentorship Network, that helped us. And of course, we had the grant and we are still on it, on climate change induced flooding and how it affects small female farmers in Nigeria. Also, another benefit of publishing in global reputable journal is our journal that we have under the African Scholars Mentorship Network, which is a publication of difficult institutions and development research center. In this editorial team, we have people in the global space being part of the editorial team. We even have a Nobel laureate, the last Nobel laureate winner, being part of this editorial team. And that is why, because we have published in reputable journals, we have the collaborations, we have the global recognition of knowing what we can do. So that is also another example. And this leads us to the basic publication questions. What are the basic publication questions? That is just like basic economic problems. What to produce, how to produce, for whom to produce. These are basic publication questions are where to publish, what to publish, when to publish, how to publish, and the last, why are you publishing? And when you're talking about basic publication question, when you are publishing, you could publish in a journal, you could publish in conference proceedings, whether you go for a conference and your paper is accepted as part of conference proceedings. You could publish in a book chapter, and you could publish in an open access or a traditional journal, which is a closed access journal. Then what to publish? Of course, your ideas, whatever comes to mind that you want to publish, your original research. It could be review articles, it could be theoretical papers, it could be case studies, it could also be a review of what others have done and what you think is missing. So when to publish? People publish at different stages. They could publish when their research is complete. They could publish when they have research sufficiency. They could publish for relevance, field relevance. This is the field I am. I'm in energy and environmental economics. And now I know that climate change is a problem. And yes, I need to publish about what is happening in my environment and what is happening in my community and put it out there. Then I could publish because of career timing. It could be because, yes, I need to move from one level to the other. And how to publish? As much as we have a beautiful and qualitative manuscript, you cannot just publish without following, because you're publishing in a good publishing outlet or with good publishers, you have to follow their rules and regulations, what we call submission guidelines or author guidelines or format requirements. That is, for every journal or good outlets or high impact journal or even predatory journals, they have submission guidelines. That is, they tell you this is, even if you have a good manuscript and you do not follow the journal's guideline, they will tell you, they could reject your manuscript, which is desk reject. And if they are interested in what you have to put there, they send you your manuscript and tell you to follow the guidelines and resubmit. So for you to publish, you have to follow the submission guidelines and also know the peer review process, how long it's going to take. Of course, we do not have any specific amount of time. You don't have control over that, but at least you have a rough estimate of how long it's going to take. Then the format requirements, do they expect you to use Calibri? Do they expect you to use Times New Roman? Do they expect you to use 12? Do they expect you that your introduction and literature review should be met together? Do they use material and methods, or they use methodology and theoretical framework? Do they use discussion, or do they use findings of results? All of this you have to follow per journal's guideline. The last one is, why do we want to publish? We want to publish because of career advancement. Most times, most people want to move from one level, at least people in the academia, in the university environment, want to move from one level to the other, whether they want to move from the assistant lecturer to lecturer 2, lecturer 1, senior lecturer, associate prof, and a professor. At one point or the other, we always want to move. We always want to move higher. So, and one way in which to move in the academics or in the university environment is through publishing. Also, another reason why we publish is because we want to share knowledge. This is what we have found out. This is new things that are happening in our environment. This is what we have found out. We want to put our knowledge out there. We want to become relevant. We want to increase our citations. when you publish in high impact journals, your citations improve because you'll be able to be relevant. People will cite your documents, and of course, open access journal papers are more cited than closed access. Then we want our research to be impactful, and it could be as a result of academic requirements. It could be a PhD student, and one of the requirements for graduation is you have to publish 2 from your thesis in high impact journals. So we have several reasons why we want to publish, and this leads us to publishing questions. Several people, you could fall into any of this category or all of this category. From our survey in 2005 and 2010, and in recent times during one of our webinar series, we realized that people, they are publishing to disseminate results and further knowledge, and all of these are important, which implies that we could be publishing to further our career prospects. For me, I publish to further my career prospects. Also, I publish to establish precedents, that is what is happening right now, and protect intellectual property. If you do not publish it, someone else can take your document and put it out there as their own. Then to ensure I receive recognition, how do you receive recognition? Whereby people or journal, good publishing outlets or good publishers reach out to you to collaborate with you. Even you could receive collaboration from other people that are other academics out there, then to disseminate results and further knowledge. Of course, when you prepare a manuscript, do an analysis, and you put your results out there, you're furthering the premise of knowledge, and of course, it's going to be useful for policy recommendations and for your country as a whole. Then to secure funding for future research projects. We found situations where you apply for a grant and you put your CV, your CV is included, and they will have to go back and check your CV. Oh, what has this person done so far? So all of these publishing questions are important. We move to journal writing. How do we write? How and when do we write? How and when we write depends on each individual, but there's a basic thing that we should know. At every point in time, we should always have a small jotter with us, or we should have our phone or a writing pad with us to always document whatever ideas drops into our mind. According to one of my professors, Professor Evans, at every point in time is with a small jotter, and anytime any ideas drop into his mind, he puts them down. Even it could be in the church, it could be at Senate meeting, it could be anywhere. And for myself, my phone is always handy. Anytime I have an idea, I send it to myself on WhatsApp. And of course, this is a foundation, this is the background or whatever, and it helps you, right? If you don't document your ideas, it will be difficult for you to go back and remember, because there are several things competing for your time at the same time. However, it is easier to work for me from home, but for others, they could decide to work when they're at work because of the calm and peaceful environment. Some could work at home. Some could even work even when there is chaos and when there is noise everywhere. And of course, some people, even when they are sleeping, an idea drops on them, they stand up, put it down, and go back. So anytime the motivation drops, my advice is that we write it down so that it would help us and we'll be able to remember. And lastly, we want to go to where to publish. If you look at my right-hand side, you see that you can publish. We have some good publishers here. And on the left-hand side, we have some good publishing outlets. That is, the simple answer is to publish in an high-impact journal. And that is the way you can avoid predatory journals. If you look at the good publishers by our right, we have the Emerald, we have the Sage, we have the Springer Nature, we have Routledge, we have Wiley, we have Palmgrave, Macmillan. And when we talk about good publishing outlets, we have Scopus, Web of Science, ABS, and the Australian Business Deans Council. These are places that are all out there that we could publish. Although it might take a lot of rigor in order for you to publish in these outlets or with these publishers, but it's a learning process. It's something, even if you submit to +1 or Discover Sustainability or Journal of Public Affairs, if it is returned back to you, you work on ask if they give you the comments. Fine. If they do not give you the comments, you can reach out to them and ask for their comments. Work on that document and send it somewhere else. So the simple answer is that we should publish in high impact journals because it makes you avoid predatory journals. For instance, for myself, when I used to publish in any journal, I was not aware of predatory journals. I was not aware of the predatory journals. So this are the simple answer is that we should publish in high impact journals because it makes you avoid predatory journals. For instance, for myself, when I used to publish in any journal, I was not aware of predatory journals. high impact journals and all of that, my citations were very small, as in few. Even my H index, very few. But now that I started publishing through qualitative mentorship in high impact journals, my citations have improved, my H index has improved. So there's nothing that, and of course, I've also received, um, I've received emails to collaborate with people, collaborate with good publishing outlets. And these are the benefits of publishing in high impact journals. Also, as an academic or someone in the university environment, you should have accounts with Google Scholar, ResearchGate, Academia. This also helps your visibility and helps your knowledge immortality when you put out whatever you have written out there. And in conclusion, in order to publish in high or reputable journals, I would advise that we target high impact journals no matter the rigor. And also, rejection is an opinion. That is, a paper that was rejected today could go ahead tomorrow and win, gain enough visibility and make you, even people reach out to you that they want you to collaborate with them. Then also choose mentors wisely. This is very important. You have to follow those that know where they are going to. You have to follow people that would improve your career. You have to follow people that you will be able to assess their network. For instance, if you in the African Scholarship Mentorship Network, we have people from several parts of the globe in that network, and you are opportune also to collaborate with them. People from Asia, America, UK. So it will open way for international collaboration. And if you're collaborating with people, automatically you'll be able to conduct quality research. What you don't know, you learn from others. And lastly, I would advise that we avoid plagiarism, because when you send your documents out there, the first thing they do is to test for the plagiarism. And if it is high, above 15%, of course, they turn it back. So this is all I want to share, or the insights on publishing in reputable journals. Thank you, and God bless.